Oh, shit. That's all you heard in that fourth quarter, son, was belt. Boy, Georgia tore their ass up, didn't they? Texas fans, you deserved this licking that you got. You ran your miles for 2 straight years, having never even beat us, still running that mouth all off season. And you thought you were going to come into this place and walk out of there with a win? Look at the way that you have played football this season. Your quarterback is a trash can. Your offensive line is pathetic. Georgia got 3 sacks on you, and Georgia can't sack the quarterback to save their lives. You thought you were coming into this place in front of this crowd and our home fans and walking out of there with the win? There was no way. There was no way. Everybody that knows football knew what was about to happen last night. Now, I thought Georgia was going to win the game, but I didn't know we were going to pull this out and put it on you all night long. There is not a more deserving fan base of what happened last night than the Texas Longhorns. You guys begged for this. You guys begged for this, and you deserved every single bit of it. You guys have never been humble. You guys never tried to assimilate into the SEC. You thought that we were going to assimilate to you. But you came crawling on your hands and knees to us, not the other way around. Your old conference is destroyed. It no longer even exists. That's your fault as one of the biggest teams in that conference, you and Oklahoma. And the fact that you had to come to the SEC says more about you than it does to us. You came to us, and you never tried to understand how the SEC works, how football works. You thought you were just going to come over here and just dominate this conference, and that could not be farther from the truth. You guys got handed the easiest schedule for the first 2 years of your time here in the SEC possible. It could not have been easier. If you had South Carolina's schedule this year, you would have 5 losses. You might get to 4 anyways with the schedule that you did have. But Georgia beat you again. And where were you last night on the Southeastern Conference page where you ran your mouth nonstop for 2 years about how you were going to get Georgia in this place, posting your little woo horn emojis, your little yellow horn emojis nonstop all over the internet, running your mouth, posting the picture over and over again of Gunnar Stockton getting knocked out in the SEC championship. But guess what? He won the SEC championship. He won again last night. Our boy, our quarterback, outperformed your boy by a country mile. And you think that Georgia wasn't going to take this game personal after we are the defending SEC champion. We beat you. We beat you in your house. We beat you in Atlanta for the SEC championship, having played a much harder, much more physically taxing schedule than you could have ever dreamed last season. And we still limped to a victory against you with a backup quarterback, and you all had a 7-point lead in that game. We still beat you, but you still ran your mouth all off season leading up to this game of how you were going to come into Sanford Stadium and beat Georgia. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And not only did Georgia beat you, they blew you out. 25 points. Georgia outcoached you. Georgia outplayed you. Georgia outwilled you. And they took this game from you. They took it from you. Kirby Smart coached circles around Steve Sarkisian last night. It's one of the proudest moments I've ever had of Kirby Smart as our coach. And it's the second happiest I've ever been leaving that stadium, walking out of there with the win. First being Tennessee 2022, because that was another disrespectful game where they gave Tennessee a number 1 ranking in the playoff committee, and we were number 1 in the AP all year. Defending national champions. Put a whooping on them too. That's what happens at this place. Unless you're Alabama, we don't too much worry about any of our games at all. Alabama's got our number. They've had our number. That series isn't close. The series with Kirby, since Kirby's been there, ain't been close. That's the only game I worry about is when Georgia plays Alabama. Other than that, I feel pretty confident going into most Georgia games. I felt confident going into this Texas game, man. So let's get into it. Kind of shift away from talking trash to the Texas fans. Let's talk to the Georgia fans about this game. Georgia spanks Texas 35-10 in Athens last night. I was at the game. Electric atmosphere. It was a packed house. I would say 45 minutes before kickoff, like it was pretty full, but 30 minutes leading up to that game, it was packed. Every seat was filled, so everybody was ready to go. Hats off and salute to the student section who was there in full force. An hour and no. It was full, both student sections before the 90-minute counter even started on the scoreboard. So I was happy to see that. Let's get into this game. Georgia dominates. We got a really fast start in the first quarter, and then we finished really strong in the fourth quarter with a large offensive gap of nothing but 3 and outs in between. But Gunnar Stockton had an incredible game on the biggest stage. Yet again, when it was needed of him to step up and make plays, Gunnar did it again. Gunnar Stockton was 229 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown for 5 total. He had 29 rushing yards on the night, and he was 24 of 29 passing in this game. I thought that was really impressive. A lot can be said about Texas, but one thing I'll say about Texas, man, I do have a lot of respect for their defense. I thought that the Texas's defense played really well for large stretches of this game. So for Gunnar to be that accurate against a really good Texas team, 5 total touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception thrown in double coverage. I can live with that from Gunnar because Gunnar's taking care of the ball all season long. He's proved to be a very trustworthy quarterback in critical situations. He doesn't take negative plays, doesn't too much turn it over. At the beginning of the season, we were begging for Gunnar to take a risk and throw an interception over the middle. Just let the ball rip. We're begging him to let it go. So now he's doing that. It was over the middle, so I'll take that from Gunnar. I don't even care that he threw the interception. I'm glad he got it out of the way in this game against Texas where we blew him out. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I'm thrilled about, man, because on this channel, I was asking, begging, and pleading for this, especially once Colby Young went down. Noah Thomas with 2 early touchdowns in the first quarter set Georgia up for success, allowed us to play with the lead for the entire game pretty much. Once Colby went down, I knew Noah Thomas was going to have to get more involved, and he's met, if not exceeded, all my expectations. Anything I could have asked from Noah Thomas, he's delivering. This is why we brought him here, and he's delivering. So I could not be happier about that. Another transfer portal wide receiver, London Humphreys, had a huge touchdown in the fourth quarter to get things really rolling. And this is where the game changed right here. And I mean, everybody already knows this, but the game was firmly in Georgia's control. But the onside kick call in the fourth quarter is what really just sealed the fate of Texas. And it was the dagger. That was the game ender right there. It was the onside kick in the fourth quarter. Cash Jones gets the recovery. And, man, for Kirby to call that right there and for it to work like that, I was proud of Kirby for how aggressive he was. But I just couldn't sit there and help think to myself, why can't this team ever play like this and coach like this against Alabama? It was just a thought that I had when I was in the stadium. It just seems like Kirby against a team like Texas, which is another huge game, big game. I mean, this was a top 10 matchup inside Sanford Stadium. This don't happen often. This was a premier opponent coming in here on the biggest stage in a night game. And Kirby's able to pull that out. But the whole night, it looked like we were playing confident, playing fast, playing aggressive, coaching aggressive, going for it on fourth down. Everything was clicking last night. And it just crossed my mind while I was in the stadium when we did that onside kick. Why can't we do this against Alabama? It's the craziest thing, y'all. It's the craziest thing. London Humphreys adds a huge touchdown in the fourth quarter. We recover the onside kick. And then Gunnar runs one in. Showed a lot of emotion in that too. You saw how much this game meant to Gunnar. All our players. When you watch this game, it's clear that this game meant more to Georgia. Georgia out-willed, out-physicaled, out-prepared Texas. Texas was coming in here with their season's over if they don't win this game. They were supposed to come in here playing desperate for their postseason lives. And Georgia probably could have dropped the Texas game, beat Charlotte and beat Georgia Tech and still been in. So I felt like the edge possibly could have been in Texas's hands. for who this game meant more to. But I was wrong. Like Georgia, this game clearly meant more to Georgia. And it showed by the play on the field, the emotion of the players, the emotion of the coaching staff. Like, look at Georgia's sideline during this game and look at their coaches, and then look at Texas's. Look totally defeated the entire game. Lawson Lucky with another fourth quarter touchdown, huge touchdown. I was glad to get to see him play. I thought he played well. I'm glad he got back in there and got a touchdown. I'm glad he's healthy. Nate Frazier had another solid game. Had a lot of tough yards, man. A lot of tough yards. He's holding on to the ball. I was critical of Nate earlier in the season, and I'll say it, like, Nate is starting to get better and better. He has shown improvement. Like, I didn't necessarily see it from last season, off season, beginning of the season. I didn't see a whole lot of improvement. But as we get, now that we're 10 games into this 2025 regular season, I'm starting to see a lot of improvement from Nate, and I love it. I love it. We need it, man. We need 2-3 really good, solid running backs. Like, I think Bowens is a really good running back. I think Frazier is becoming a really good running back. Nate, 16 carries for 72 yards, a lot of tough yards. Very physical running back last night. On the other side, we had Arch Manning. He went 27 of 43 attempts passing, 251 yards, a total offense, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, negative 17 yards from sacks, sacked 3 times. And this was the story in the game for me, was Texas went 2 of 12 on third down. 2 of 12 on third down. So Georgia's defense is growing up like right before our eyes, y'all. And that really was the story. There were a lot of storylines in this game. I mean, the elite level play of Gunnar Stockton rising to the occasion, playing huge football in a big time top 10 matchup under the lights at home with everything on the line. As far as Georgia's season goes, Gunnar Stockton rises to the occasion. He needs to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation. I don't really care about the Heisman, but he needs to be in the conversation. He's played so well this season, and he's growing up. He's getting more confident. He's getting better. I thought Kirby Smart's coaching and how aggressively they coached and how confidently they coached in this game, how well we prepared. Clearly well prepared. Like, look at the way this defense has played at times this season. And then look at the way that we played last night. We're getting better at the perfect time. I thought Georgia was really well prepared. I thought we were really well motivated. The coaching story is a whole story by itself. Georgia's offense getting off to a fast start. The emergence of Noah Thomas. Nate Frazier holding on to the football, getting a whole lot of tough yards. Georgia's defense growing up, and the young pups are starting to play well. Georgia getting pressure on Arch Manning, getting off the field on third down. There were so many storylines in this game that it all just went Georgia's way last night. It all went Georgia's way. I already talked about, I was thrilled to see Noah Thomas the last 3 games. Man, he's really been really productive. 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Zach Branch with a bunch of huge catches. Again, big-time playmaker. He just keeps showing up big time again and again and again for Georgia. Dylan Bell had some good plays. The Chauncey Bowens injury is something that I'm really looking out for. Like, I need to see an update on that. We got to have a healthy Chauncey Bowens. We also got to have a healthy C.J. Allen. Like, I'm looking out right now. It's 9:30 at night. I'm not sure if anything's broke yet on either of those 2 injuries. But it's 9:30 Sunday night, and I'm looking out for that. We've got to have a healthy Chauncey Bowens and C.J. Allen going forward. Those are 2 of our best players. We need them on the field playing. Luckily, we got Charlotte this week, a little bit of rest. Get rested up, beat them soundly, get the backup some time, and then it's on to Georgia Tech on a short week. So I'm looking out for those injury updates. And then we had Kristen Miller go down as well. I think I heard last night. Man, I didn't get home till 3:30 in the morning, but I was listening to the Dog Nation postgame show last night. Any podcast that came out last night about this game, I was listening to. I heard that Kristen Miller, I think, is going to be fine. And we were waiting on Bowens and C.J. Allen today. I mean, I think Kirby said that both C.J. Allen and Chauncey Bowens both said they were fine after the game, but they were both getting looked at further today, further testing and all. So we'll see what comes of that. Something to look out for. O-line. I want to touch on this real quick. I thought the O-line played well at times. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. Like, the middle point of the game, the second quarter and third quarter, that Texas defensive line was eating our O-line's lunch, man. Like, we couldn't do nothing up the middle for large stretches of that game. And Texas has got talented players, so I don't know if I should chalk it up to that or if we just had an off night as far as the O-line goes. But the O-line got the job done in the fourth quarter when it mattered. Like, we closed the game out. Like, we started opening up some big-time holes for our running backs in the fourth quarter. And it was all that onside kick, man. That onside kick was the nail in the coffin. That was the dagger through the heart of the Texas team. Ended their season, that onside kick did. And it was like once we recovered that onside kick, the Texas defense's will was broken. And the offense just didn't help the Texas defense out. Like, I do think Texas has a good defense. They got a lot of talented players. They play hard. They play the right way. Fast, physical, athletic. That interception that linebacker had was incredible by Texas, man. Like, that was a hell of a play by him. I wasn't even mad at that, to be honest with you. But the O-line gets the job done in the fourth quarter when it mattered the most. And I wrote this down. I just want to say, like, I'm so grateful for the emergence of Ernest Green since he has came back healthy. And when he played in the Ole Miss game, from that point on, our O-line has taken everything to a whole nother level, man. Like, we're playing different right now. We're playing really good football on the offensive line now that we're healthy. And I'm just grateful for Ernest Green being back and the health of the O-line. I was hard on Ernest Green because of the way that he played. Like, in some of our games, like, you go back to the Tennessee game, you go back to some parts of the Marshall game. Like, when whatever was going on, and I'm not quite sure what it was. I heard it was a back, but I'm not 100% on that. A back injury, something similar to Ladd McConkey's, where he has back spasms. And it wasn't that I was upset with Ernest, like, as a person. You know, I know that he's a good tackle when he's healthy. It was just, dude, he was getting beat out there, and he was hurting us early in the season when he was trying to play through that injury, and it was frustrating. And I asked on this channel, and people answered, and I was like, when is the last time we saw him play good football? Like, unless he can give us that, he needs to sit out until he's healthy. And we determined as a group, like, the last good game he had played was at Alabama, 2024. Yeah, 2024 at Alabama was the last time we saw him look good. So, man, over a year of battling this thing, man, and he comes in the Ole Miss game and looks like a whole new man. Like, he looked like himself again. He was tossing some guys around in that Ole Miss game. He damn near killed a dude on the run with Gunner, going into the closed end of the end zone. When Ernest Green comes around the edge and took that cornerback off his cleats, man, like, Ernest was moving like I do. I haven't seen Ernest Green move like that ever. Like, he was moving, and flattened that dude. Damn near killed him on that run by Gunner. So since he has come back, man, the O-line has taken everything to a whole nother level. But Monroe has had an elite season. Every game he's played has been elite, except maybe the Auburn game, and he could barely walk. Who else? Drew Bobo has had an incredible season. Micah Morris, 56, over there at the left guard. Been playing through injury all season long. He's been looking healthier as of late. Dontrell Glover at the right guard spot, playing incredible football as a true freshman. Couldn't be prouder. And I couldn't be prouder of that, but I'm also surprised. Like, he came out of nowhere and has been a big asset to this team. Ernest Green now at the right tackle spot, and then we're rotating in Juan Gaston everywhere to get these guys a breather, man. The O-line, to me, up until last night, was the story of this season. Like, the O-line coming together at the right time. But now the defense is coming together as well. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because that was a big storyline to me last night, was the play of this Georgia defense. We held these boys to 10 points. 10 points. Let's talk about this defense, man. We held Texas to 274 total yards. 10 points. That's an accomplishment, man, against any SEC team, but one that's recruited as well as Texas, with the athletes that they have, the running backs that they have, the wide receivers and tight ends that they've got. That Wingo guy's an animal, that Texas wide receiver. So to hold these boys to 10 points, man, is a hell of an accomplishment by Georgia. And the only touchdown that Texas scored was came from the short field on the Gunnar Stockton interception. Other than that, I think we would have held Texas to probably 3, maybe 6 points. And the story of the game, man, this defense held them to 2 for 12 on third down. What I wouldn't have gave to see that in the Alabama game. That's the reason Bama beat us, man. We couldn't get off the field on third down. Georgia was getting off the field on third down last night. Texas was in third and long all night long. Some more positives from this defense. We got 3 sacks, y'all. 3 sacks. Christmaston came early or something like that, because I've been begging to see some sacks all season long. And I talked about this a little bit a couple of videos ago. There was a statistic that Davin Bellamy was talking about on his show. I forget what it's called at the moment. Davin Bellamy, our former defensive end, outside linebacker. He was talking about how Georgia's teams always improve their sack total after the bye week before the Florida game. And that's been true, man. Georgia's been getting after it since the bye week of the Florida game, just like Davin said. 3 sacks last night. We had one by Gabe Harris, Quintavious Johnson, and Zayden Walker. I was thrilled to see that. But not only were we sacking the quarterback, like the times that we didn't sack him, we were in his face with pressure all night long. I thought Elijah Griffin played an incredible game, possibly the best game of his Georgia career. Another huge storyline from this defense was Raylan Wilson and Chris Cole played phenomenal football in C.J. Allen's absence. Like, C.J. Allen is the alpha, the leader of that Georgia defense. He goes out with an injury. Raylan Wilson's got to take over all the calls. Chris Cole's got to step in. Raylan Wilson's playing C.J. Allen's position. Chris Cole steps in as a true inside linebacker. He's playing Raylan Wilson's position. And I thought that those two together, it looked like they had been playing together all season long. Like, it looked like they didn't even need to communicate verbally. They knew where each other was at on the field the entire game. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. No busts, no missed assignments, no big runs up the middle or anything like that once C.J. Allen went out. Those two look like they've been playing together for 4 years. Raylan Wilson and Chris Cole. Chris Cole was fast as hell, y'all. Really athletic dude. Like, he was out there making some plays last night. I'm not going to lie. I asked in the Texas pregame video to have some Chris Cole sightings, and I got it. And that guy is going to be a heck of an inside linebacker. He's going to do everything, just like Jalen Walker did last season. But Chris Cole can make up so much ground and is so fast in the middle of the field. He can just get to everywhere so quickly. He just covers things up. He makes up so much ground so quick. That was one thing that was glaringly evident from me last night. And I was sitting up here in the 300s for the first part of the game, and then in the fourth quarter, I moved down here right to the 50-yard line to sit with my sister and some of her season ticket holder friends. And even from up there in the 300s, man, like, it was obvious how fast number 9 was from all the way up there. Like, he was flying around the field. It was good to see. So that was a big storyline, man. Those two inside linebackers played their ass off in C.J. Allen's absence. All right, this is going to be huge going forward. A storyline in this game, man, is a lot of the young players that cost us on defense and that were a liability early in the season are now growing up. They've got 10 games of experience. They've got 8 SEC games under their belt. These boys are playing their butts off, and they've gotten better. And I just wrote down a list of names of guys that are young that I thought are really stepping up, coming into their own. The experience has paid off. The Georgia practices has paid off. All their hard work is paying off. They learn from their mistakes, and they're getting better. And Chris Cole, we already talked about that. DeMello Jones, dude. DeMello Jones is really coming to his own here lately. Like, this is incredible. Like, he's playing really solid football for us. Really physical player, really good in coverage, really fast. He's really coming into his own, and he's no longer a liability for us. Like, this dude is an asset for us. Quintavious Johnson, been getting better and better. Gabe Harris has been getting better. And those are two big boys on the edge, too, that are able to do so much. And it seems like they're really hitting their groove and finding their way here at the perfect time in the middle of November. If we can continue getting those two guys better on our edge, it's just going to pay dividends for us in the playoff, man. Josh Horton, I thought, has been getting better. Elijah Griffin. Do we even need to say that? Like, this dude has been a bona fide starter for us since day one. Like, he might be the most talented player on this team. He might be the most talented player on this team. Like, I don't remember Jalen Carter looking like this and playing this much and getting this many snaps as a freshman. Like, this Elijah Griffin kid was a home run out of Savannah, Georgia. It's unbelievable. The level of play that he's given us as a freshman is very rare. We're very lucky that we're going to have him for 2 more years. Very lucky to have him for 2 more years. We're going to see some great things out of Elijah Griffin before his time's up at the University of Georgia, I'm telling y'all. Joseph Jonah Ajayi, been getting better and better, showing up more and more. And then Nami Aboko, been showing up more and more. All these guys I just named, at the beginning of the season, it was just kind of like, I'm not too sure on these guys. I'm not too sure on this Georgia defense. Like, I don't see the production that I saw by our playmakers, which is fine because we put guys in the NFL first-round draft picks. Jalen Walker, Michael Williams, Malachi Starks, all those guys went in the first round. So we had some ground to make up. We had some young guys that needed experience, needed playing time, needed the practice, needed to make mistakes, and Kirby Smart was able to let them do all that. And we only dropped one SEC game to a really talented Alabama team. To this point, this season's exceeded my expectations, man. It really has. Like, I did not think Georgia was going to be sitting here 9-1 right now. I didn't. I thought we were going to drop a game. I didn't know who it was going to be. Like, I had a funny feeling it was going to be Auburn. Auburn turned out not to be as good as we thought, but we did have a scare at Auburn. Like, that could have easily went the other way. But I thought Georgia was going to drop another game besides the Alabama game just because of what, like, everything we just talked about with the inexperience, with how many guys we sent to the league in the first round, with the talent that left our team, the experience that left our team on defense. I knew Gunner was good, but I didn't know he was going to be this good. So that was a question at the beginning of the season. The running backs thing, like, I always unfairly compare Nate to Todd Gurley, and he's not on that level, and I still don't think he's on that level. But the running back talent was a concern for me until the emergence of Bowens. The tight ends, the lack of production from the tight ends, that corrected itself. The offensive line storyline, like the health of the O-line going into the season, that was my whole storyline for the season. Preseason and beginning of the season and still to this day was the health of our O-line, and especially the 2 tackle spots. That was a concern. And with everything that I just talked about, like, it made me think that Georgia was going to be, at this point of the season, I thought we would have 2 losses, and we don't. We only have 1 to a really talented, possibly the most talented team in the country in Alabama. I'm thrilled. I'm proud of this team. That's the second happiest I have ever left that stadium last night. That was a hell of a feeling. That was a hell of a win. Salute to the coaching staff, man. Like, the coaches are coaching their butts off. The Mike Bobo stuff should be over, man. Like, Mike Bobo, that 4th down call to Bowens was an incredible call. 3 games in a row, Georgia has drawn the other team off sides with a false start with the clap by Gunner. 3 games in a row. The O-line has been playing better and better. Like, that goes to Coach Searles. The receivers are catching the ball. Like, I was on Coach Coley's ass last season. I wanted him out of there, and he's a good recruiter. Like, I've always given Coley that. Like, he recruits the hell out of South Florida. Really impressive recruiter in South Florida. Brings in some really good receivers. But they weren't catching the ball last season. So that was the thing. Receivers have been playing really well this season. Massive upgrade from last year. Nate and Chauncey have stepped up to be the 1-2 punch with the ability for McCray to get us in the 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2, 4th down and 3 yardage if we need it. Lawson Lucky, Oscar Delp are playing better this year than they did last year. The defensive line's playing solid. Inside linebackers are playing as expected. The corners have grown up. You know, we always had Dalen Everett, but now we got DeMello Jones. And I didn't write down, number 1 cornerback, Ellis Robinson. He should be on this list. I don't need to write Ellis Robinson's name down because he definitely deserves to be on this list. A total liability in the Tennessee game. But he's been getting better and better, and he's been playing really well in coverage as a cornerback right now. Really proud of Ellis. A lot of people were hard on Ellis after that Tennessee game and after the Alabama game. He's grown up right before our eyes as well. So the cornerback position went from being a liability to I think it's a strength now with DeMello Jones and Ellis Robinson and Dalen Everett. The safety spot, the safety spot is one of those things, man, where I think if we're not hearing about it, then I think it's good news. I mean, we knew KJ Bolden was a star, right? I mean, he's been playing big for us for 2 seasons now as a true freshman, true sophomore. Had an interception last night. We knew he was going to be solid. The other safety spot's been rotating. I guess if we're not seeing bust and getting burned over there, that's good news. So the safety spot, I mean, could it be better? Probably, but it's not a concern. Special teams, Brett Thorson played his worst game of the season last night, but I still think he's one of the best punters in all of America. I look for him to bounce back. So this team is outpacing what I thought they would do. We got to beat Charlotte. We will beat Charlotte. Not even the tiniest bit concerned about that. Georgia Tech is going to go into Mercedes-Benz Stadium like this is their Super Bowl, guys. Like they're going to play their ass off. They would rather win against us than win a national championship. I'm telling you guys that's the truth. So Georgia's got to come that Friday ready to play. And we've got to have the motivation factor on our side. We've got to have the mental edge. We've got to go in there to want to win, want to punish those boys, want to make those boys quit. That's going to be a big-time premier game on Friday night. Nobody else is going to be playing. It's going to be a good time to show what we can do the last game of the season, make a good impression, bring in some big-time recruits. Let Georgia Tech and the nerds and the whole country know, like, man, we run this state. This is us right here. Like, this is Georgia football. Georgia Tech will never run this state. No matter what. Like, it's always been that way. It always will be that way. Leave no doubt in that Georgia Tech game. Beat them. Dump them. Make them quit. I feel like I've said everything I need to say in this video. I'm elated. I'm exhausted because I didn't get home till late, driving home, 3:30 in the morning. I woke up this morning, rewatched the game. I'm tired. It's been one hell of a season, but god dang, this Georgia team, they fight so hard. They play their ass off. They look like they have fun playing together. It didn't look like that last season, guys. This Georgia team didn't look like they had a fun time playing together. They didn't look connected last season. That's totally changed, guys. Totally changed. Like this team looks totally different from a body language perspective, from a energy perspective. The energy's high. It looks fun. It looks fast. It looks free. It looks like they enjoy being together. It looks like they're friends. It looks like they're boys. That's what this should be, man. Like, this is just such a better season than last season. Last season was miserable, guys, and this is just such a better season. I couldn't be happier. I don't even know what else to say. I feel like I've said it all. So, Dog Nation, I love you guys. Hell of a job last night. Hell of a win. Enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again soon. I love you guys. See y'all.